I've been a winning poker pro for 7 straight years, and these 3 live poker strategies will make you a winner. They're the same strategies I use every session to stay disciplined, win more consistently, and avoid common traps. In this video, I'm going to break each one down so you can start using them at the tables today. The first strategy is going to be a simple one, and it would be illustrated during this 5-10 game with a $20 straddle on. I am dealt 9-6 offsuit in the straddle. It folds around the small blind and they will limp. Big blind follows them with a limp as well, and with such a weak holding, there is no point in raising it up here. I can check my option and see the flop in position to both of my opponents. We are three-handed headed to a flop of 8-5 king, 2 spades. Now we are about to see the strategy in action because this is a spot where people make the most mistakes. Remember, there were no raises pre-flop in this pot. Do you know what this means? This means that ranges are infinite in this spot for the limpers. In live poker, small blind can have anything from aces to 7-deuce offsuit. Big blind should raise the limp with their stronger hands such as aces, kings, queens, etc., since they are not the original limper. This would mean that I am now able to eliminate top of the range hands for the big blind, but I cannot eliminate any hands in the range of small blind. This is how you should be able to break down ranges in this spot, because in poker, you should never go broke in a limped pot. Someone is going to lose more money in this spot than they're supposed to if they were aware of ranges in this configuration. Small blind is going to check, and the villain in big blind is going to make a bet for $30, 50% of the pot. This is an easy decision here, having position, and I would have the nuts, aka the best hand possible if I were to turn a 7. I put in the call, and small blind is going to fold. We go heads up to the turn, and it comes the best card in the deck for my hand, the 7 of hearts. Big blind is going to continue with a double barrel and size up on the turn, making it $80 to go, about 66% of the pot. There are 2 things I want you to focus on in this spot. Remember, big blind's range is essentially capped. However, mine is less capped. Do you know the reason why? It is because I had the option to check and take a free flop. This is a key factor making my range wider, and big blind should worry about this as I am putting in a raise in position, making it $250 to go. I must get called by all of their random 2 pairs, sets, and also they may have a combo draw such as 7-6 of spades and so on. After a couple of seconds, they are going to put in the call. We go to the river and it comes the 10 of clubs. Villain is going to check, and I still have the best hand almost always. It is time to get paid on the river, and I fire out another bet for $400. Villain is going to snap call, and they confidently turn over their 8-5 offsuit as I turn over the straight to take down the pot. I do not like their river call because once again my range is extremely wide, and I will have better 2 pairs than them in this line, along with sets and some straights. 8-5 is pretty much bottom 2 pair here, and it's just not a good enough hand to call. They torch $400 or 40 big blinds on the river in a spot where they are rarely ever going to win. Before we move on to the next strategy, be sure to grab my free guide, The Low Stakes Poker Blueprint, by scanning this QR code. It gives you the 100 rules I used to win for 7 straight years. You can also receive it by clicking the pinned comment in this video to visit my website. Next hand, we are dealt pocket kings in the big blind, and we are going to have some blind versus blind action. The next strategy is going to be maximizing EV with premiums. This is going to be a unique spot due to the run out and aggression my opponent shows post flop. Villain in small blind starts out with a limp for $10. I am going to raise it up to $30, and they will be calling. We go heads up to a flop of Queen 10-4 rainbow. Beautiful flop so far as I have an overpair to the board, so I want to build this pot as quickly as possible. Villain is going to check, and I will find a C bet, aka continuation bet, for $30. My opponent has other plans as they are putting in the check raise for almost 4x my bet, making it $110 to go. This is an easy decision, and I will put in the call. We go to the turn, and it comes the 6 of hearts, making it a rainbow board. It is a very good turn as this is pretty much a blank majority of the times. Villain is going to continue showing strength by making an almost pot-sized bet for $250. It is a bit scary, but I still cannot go anywhere yet, especially being in position controlling the river action. So I will put in a call. We go to a very interesting river as it comes the 6 of diamonds. My opponent is going to fire out the final barrel on the river and bets $400 or 50% of the pot. I am immediately in love with the river card and their sizing as I know where this hand is headed. Now, let's think about my opponent's range and break it down. They limp called pre-flop and check raised barreled off. What hands will do this? They never have pocket queens as they would have re-raised me pre-flop with it. Tens are possible sometimes, but fours are more likely. They can also have random bluffs, but most importantly, they can have a type of hand that hates seeing the turn card pair on the river. This exact hand would be 2 pair. Queen 10, Queen 4, and 10-4 are all more likely to be in their range than boats. They can also have a scared ace queen that did not want to commit too much money pre, or maybe king queen. Yes, I know I have 2 kings in my hand, but it is still possible, or maybe even queen jack. Some of these hands would find a size down on the river. After this full breakdown, I now know I must maximize my EV with pocket kings by making a bold play here. Calling is not going to be the best option based on this range breakdown. Can I jam into a boat? Yes, but how about all the other times I jam and get called by all the other worst hands that make up the majority of Villain's range? I announced that I am all in for $1,175 and Villain goes into the tank. I know I have the best hand at this point, and after 2 minutes, they finally put in a call. I turn over my pocket kings and they will muck their cards. This is the thought process you must have, and these are the spots you must find to truly maximize when you have a premium hand. The next hand I would be dealt pocket kings again, but we would be in a different situation. If you are enjoying the video so far, I would appreciate if you can give a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, to become more confident and an overall better poker player, make sure you grab my free guide, The Low Stakes Poker Blueprint, by scanning this QR code. It gives you the 100 rules I used to win for 7 straight years. You can also receive it by clicking the pinned comment in this video to visit my website. I am in under the gun position and will open 3x to $30. Villain in under the gun +1, who is short stacked, puts in the call. It folds all the way to big blind and they come along as well. We go 3 ways through a flop of Jack 4-5 rainbow. Immediately in this spot, I am thinking one thing. I must do my best to stack the short stack, especially with this SPR, aka stack to pot ratio. Big blind is going to check, and I will fire out a C bet for $30. Villain and under the gun +1 will call, and big blind calls too. We go to the turn, and it comes the 6 of spades. Big blind is going to check. The turn looks scary because there are straights that have completed, such as 8-7 suited and offsuit, 7-3 suited, and 3 deuce suited. These hands could be in their range, but if they do have it, I will for sure hear from either player on the turn with a raise. Because of that reason, I am still happy to find a double barrel here to still get called by all Jack X holdings, straight draws, and flush draws. I size up on the turn and put out a bet of $120. Under the gun +1 is going to call and big blind is going to fold. Perfect spot so far, and way to go by taking the highest EV line that would generate me the most winnings long term. We are heads up going to the river, and it comes the Four of Hearts. This card does not change much as it's very hard for them to river trips, so I would gladly announce I am all in to the dealer. My opponent will snap call and I turn over my pocket kings and they will mark their cards. We maximized our winnings by finding the triple barrel to win all of the short stacks money and realized our hand was more than good enough to keep building the pot on a scary turn. If you want to continue maximizing your winnings at the poker table, you should definitely grab my free guide, The Low Stakes Poker Blueprint, by scanning this QR code. You will receive the 100 rules I used to win for 7 straight years. You can also receive it by clicking the pinned comment in this video to visit my website. This next strategy is one that I see even well-seasoned pros struggle to deal with. It involves the mindset we have at the table, and we will see it when I am dealt King 10 suited in cutoff position. Villain in hijack position raises 3x of $15. I decide to flat cutoff with King 10 suited this time instead of finding a 3-bet. It folds to big blind and they will be calling 2. We are 3-handed going to a flop of 7 queen 4 2 diamonds. Extremely good flop as I am drawing to the second nuts, the king high flush. I also have some backdoor equity to straights and an overcard as well. Big blind checks and the original opener places a c-bet for $35, about 75% of the pot. I am going to put in a call and big blind lays it down. We go heads up to the turn and it comes to 6 of diamonds, giving me the king high flush. What could possibly go wrong here? My opponent checks and it is time for me to take over the betting. I think about my sizing and fire out a big bet as I want to make sure my river all in is not too much of an overbet. I place out a wager of $100. They will put in a call. We go to the river and it comes the jack of clubs. The board does not pair, so I am looking pretty good here. After a couple of seconds, villain puts out a donk bet for $200. Well, this is a bit weird, but I am not complaining as there is just so many hands in my opponent's range that I want to stack. I cannot leave their $193 just sitting there, so I am more than happy to announce I am all in with the king high flush. They snap call and this is where the strategy comes in. You must understand bad beats are part of the game. I played the hand to the best of my ability, knowing I must go all in, but unfortunately, they turn over ace queen of diamonds. Everyone, including me, deals with bad beats, but it is how you carry yourself after them that determines if you have what it takes to be profitable in this game. This is the only live poker strategy guide you need to win in 2026. It's a new year, so learn how to beat all your opponents by watching right now.